Hi there, Becky here from 168 Fitness. Over the past few weeks, I've been giving you some top tips on how to make the most of the last couple of months of the year and feeling the benefits of doing some more exercise and looking at your food consumption, etc. Just trying to get a head start on next year's resolutions, but also trying to tick off some of those goals from this year and just feeling good at the end of this year, going into winter, and just making some room perhaps for the Christmas indulgence that's I'm sure is on its way. So this week I want to talk about nutrition and in particular portion sizes. So I'm not going to give you any hard and fast rules of right, you need to have this much of this sort of food or these carbs, or you need this much protein or whatever, because nutrition is so personal. It's so individual. There isn't a hard and fast rule. It's so individual, like I say, for the person. So for example, I run at least 50 miles a week, so I'm going to need a little bit more energy and perhaps some more carbohydrates than someone who sits at a desk most of the days and doesn't move as much as I do it, or doesn't run, doesn't exercise. Maybe they do some walking instead. So everyone is different. You've got to it needs to be sort of tailored to you, and you get to know what you need in your body, or someone like me can advise you on what's the best foods for you to be eating, and in what quantities as well. But you can do that, or someone else can do that for you. But it's so hard for me to advise. I can't give you general advice. Or I can try and give you general advice, which is what I'm going to do today. But that means that I can't really say exact portion size. So I'm just caveating it already, that I want you to focus on portion sizes this week. But unfortunately, I can't just give you the information because it's all specific for the individual. So but one thing that I can get you to think about this week, as I say, with portion sizes and control, which is what it comes down to really, is just knowing what, like I said, knowing what you need, what your body needs. And that's always a good question to ask when you're going to eat something. When you're thinking about sort of weight management and what you're putting into your body, and you're just being a bit more conscious of food and exercise and all of that, and achieving your goals. One of the good questions you can ask is, do I need that? Does my body need that? And if the answer is no, then put it back, don't eat it, don't drink it, don't consume it, or have less of it. Or if you're, so for example, say you're thinking, shall I have an extra side, or you've made yourself a sandwich or something at home, and then habit is to go and get the bag of crisps. And that would be for me. I mean, I try and avoid sandwiches because my habit is that I have a sandwich and I need a bag of crisps with it. But if I actually just stopped and asked myself, well, do I need the crisps, or will my body be better and satisfied with just the sandwich? And you can always go back and get the crisps if you're still hungry, or you feel like, you do need them. But it's just sort of stopping for a moment and just being a little bit more aware and conscious of what you're consuming. So in terms of I've already talked about sort of like trying to eat what your body needs and prefers and what's best for your body, nutritious foods 80% of the time, 20% sort of can have a bit of what you fancy as well. But do you need that? And so that could be, for example, if you usually have, I don't know, so I talked about shepherd's pie, that's in my head previously. So shepherd's pie, if you'd usually have shepherd's pie and you'd usually have some potatoes or some chips with it, and then some veg, or maybe you don't usually have the veg, maybe you just have the shepherd's pie and the chips or something. Ask yourself, does my body need those chips? Well, probably not. If you've got the sort of potato on the top there, you're sort of having two lots of potato. So would my body prefer to have some veg with it? Yes, definitely. So can I survive without the chips or the potatoes and just have the shepherd's pie and the veg? I'm pretty sure you will be able to survive that. So it's just sort of, do I need that portion control? Well, do I need that, question mark, and thinking about portion control. Another way, this is what I get my clients to do sometimes, is I mentioned this the other week as well. Would you feel comfortable sort of taking a picture of your food and showing me for one, as a sort of PT or someone, if you told me what your goal is, and would you feel comfortable sort of showing me this is what I've eaten for dinner? If not, and I'm not talking in terms of presentation or how well it's cooked or how nice it tastes or whatever, I mean in terms of portion size. So do you feel like it's an acceptable portion size? Would you feel like you could show that to me or anyone else and they not make some kind of comment? Now, I'm not saying that it's right to make a comment, but we all know that we would. When you see someone, one of your friends or someone eating a big pizza or a big portion of food, there's always a comment, there's always something. And I'm not saying that it's right, because you shouldn't necessarily be passing comment on someone else's food or whatever unless they've asked for it. But if you sent me a message and said, is this okay? Would you feel comfortable sending that picture and that message saying, is this okay? Do you feel like it's an okay portion size, an acceptable portion size for what you need and for achieving your goals? If the answer is no, then cut back a little bit and try and reduce your portion size. If the answer is yes, then go for it. If to the best of your knowledge that is the right portion size, then that's good. If you know that that's what your body needs, then spot on. So that's just something to be thinking about. Is it, well, portion control in overall, and then just ways you can do that just by cutting back a little bit or just being a little bit more aware. Does my body need that? Do I need it? Is that the right portion size for me? And then still also applying that 80-20 rule as well from a couple of weeks ago. So hopefully that helps. Ask me if you've got any questions and I'll be back next week with some more top tips.